Hey, good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. Today is Thursday. How are you? We had a lot of fun yesterday. We got to go to Philadelphia, to Choctaw, Mississippi. Got to see the Choctaw Indian Fair. A lot going on there this week. Hope you can go up and enjoy all the festivities this week. Got a new princess last night. We'll tell you more about that beginning at 7 o'clock. It's going to be a warm day. Want to be the first to break the news to you. We're looking for a high of about 98 today. Oh, let me back up. 91. We'll have a heat index of 98. And then the words of an 80% chance of thunderstorms this afternoon. Mainly in the afternoon is what we got. We'll be watching this, and we'll take a look at radar here in a minute and just see how close it is to us. I don't think it's the day to wash your car or hang clothes out on the clothesline this afternoon. Turn out bad either way there. We do hope your morning is going well. Odie's over there at the coffee pot. He looks all serious. Looks like he needs a cup. Yeah. Hope you'll do the same and enjoy the show. Coming up, we'll get it all started. Right now, let's get our good word of the day. Let's go to Collinsville, to First Baptist.
Imagine this: a world full of turmoil, a nation divided on ideologies, and many people falling into sinful ways of living. Sound familiar? How do we address this? Do we go in, guns a-blazing, ready to destroy our ideological opponents with facts and logic? That is a way to do things, but let me propose to you a more biblical solution. Paul says in Philippians 4:5, "Let your gentleness be evident to all. The Lord is near." Gentleness? We're supposed to be gentle and gracious to those who shout and display their sinful ideologies? Yes. Let me encourage you. The Bible commands us to be gentle, not just here in Philippians 4:5. Gentleness is a fruit of the Holy Spirit living inside you, as Paul lays out in Galatians 5:22 and 23. And also look at the wisdom in Proverbs 15:1. A gentle answer turns away anger, but a harsh word stirs up wrath. Christian, when you are confronted by a friend or a loved one or even a stranger on the street who asks you for your stance on a certain issue, be gentle. Don't shy away from the truth, but stand your ground, but do so gently. To be gentle is to invite dialogue, a dialogue that hopefully results in the gospel being proclaimed. But to be harsh is to invite wrath, which may very well remove the chance of a life-changing gospel conversation. And as Paul says, the Lord is near. All the more reason to extend an everlasting hope with gentleness to a lost world. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that. It is Thursday, as I mentioned. We've got a big show lined up for you. We're going to have special guests. We'll tell you more about that and what's going on. You'll enjoy it today. We've got a lot happening. Tomorrow's Fun Friday. We'll see if the broom makes it or not. I'm starting to worry. I think it's been sputtering. I'm not sure she'll make it to the show tomorrow. We start our headlines off with Shaping America with an arrest. Mar-a-Lago is what we're talking about. We had a lady that parked her car, jumped out, and went up to the fence and said she had to speak to Donald immediately. After further investigation, we would quickly find out she had no insurance on the car, no driver's license, and had weapons in the car. She got a ride downtown. Now, I'm not exactly sure what she had to tell Donald, but I think she's going to have to hold off a little while. My, oh, my.
She can write him a letter.
Yeah, she'll be able to get a pen and paper if good behavior comes about there. I mentioned yesterday morning that the doctor that was Biden's doctor was headed to Congress yesterday to testify what he knew about the condition, the mentality, the mental state of the former president while he was in office. Anybody want to guess how that turned out? He pled the fifth. Exactly. I could hear Odie in the background guessing that one across the room. That's what he did. He pled the fifth. He's not going to incriminate himself. I think Ray Charles could have picked up on that. I really do, and I'm not being ugly at any point in any way.
He saw that coming.
We have an update on the number of deaths at this point. We're at 118, and my notes tell me we have 173 souls still missing in Texas from these floodwaters. Isn't that a shame? 118 and 173 missing. Now, it's not going to be an easy find looking for these folks, and we do hope that there are some more survivors. We really do. But as this drags on and on and on, as you well know, the chance of survival weakens. We do hope, though. Keep some prayers going up. That's what we need to do this. As I look at this, And think about this. If you knew that your time was about that much left, what would be the first thing you do? Well, there was one dad in this that quickly grabbed his cell phone, and I guess his kids didn't answer. He left him a voicemail, told him he loved them. And a few minutes later, he was swept away to his death. It's a message that they will always treasure, I'm sure. But heartfelt. Can you imagine having to listen to that? I'm sure they're glad they got it. But the sorrow of listening, it does bring a tear to your eye. It makes you feel the compassion for someone. That's the latest from Texas that we know this morning. I'm not sure how this will taste. We eat a lot of foods just simply because, well, it tastes good, don't we? Cheez-Its, they're addictive. You sit down to watch TV and it's one after the other. You just can't get rid of them. They're coming out with a gluten-free cracker, and it's going to be hitting store shelves soon. Reagan, what that tastes like?
I'm not even going to try it.
You're not trying it. What was and y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm going to describe it. They were round, a circular, was it oatmeal, those little patties that people that were on diet, rice cakes.
Oh.
Isn't that the most horrible thing that you've ever tasted? Sometimes you just got to tell the truth. I've seen people that were dieting at work that would bring those in, and it was like they were eating a bar of soap. Like, God bless them. Be fat like me and happy. Ooh, have mercy. Ritz Cracker is recalling, and this because there's really nothing wrong with it, but I guess legally they have no choice. Ritz Cracker is recalling some after peanut butter sandwiches were found in the cheese label packets. You know, they have 8 crackers in them, and they were just labeled wrong, but they're recalling them to be on the safe side so nobody will panic. They're still good. Somebody's
They can drop ship them to me, and I'll investigate.
Rhodey will investigate. They'll end up in the lunchroom, all 68,000 cases. My, oh my. Do you remember us talking, was this a week? It was probably 2.5 to 3 weeks ago. A 21-year-old that was in Washington, D.C. was an intern. They had offered a $25,000 reward. He was shot on a street. He was getting off work, walking home, and he was shot. I don't believe he was targeted. They're now upped the ante to $40,000 to anyone that knows anything about this. You never know who, what, and how. But a $40,000 reward being offered for information. His name was Eric Tapper Jackman. He was from Massachusetts, and again, he was 21 years old. And it wasn't late. It was 10:30. My, oh my. Haiti. Now, I've never been to Haiti, and there's probably a thin margin that I'll ever set my boots on soil there. But I did find this interesting. It was a famous home called the Gingerbread Hotel. Y'all ever heard that? It's rose to fame. It's had pictures taken at it and this, that, and well, gangs burned it down over the weekend. It's gone. If you were going there on your next vacation to take pictures of that, you won't anymore. I know a lot of you love golf, but always keep this in mind. We even saw it. Wasn't it at the end of Caddyshack where the guy finally gets out there on that last hole and it's raining and he swings and zzz,
Yeah.
It will happen to you as we find out that in New Jersey, a golfer was struck while playing golf. Careful, careful, careful. It would be a long night of golf if I'd done that. I'm not good at that. This is, I understand cutbacks in the government. I do, but this one tugs at my heart because I've watched it. As at any time as you're watching what's going on in Arlington National Cemetery, there's nothing more beautiful to watch as a casket goes by being pulled by 6 to 8 horses as it makes its final resting place. It's an honor. A military, well, they're doing away with that. The ceremonial horses will be sold off and adopted out. They say it will save roughly $2 million a year. I almost think that they should continue that $2 million. It's for those who served and gave all. That's my 2 cents on it, but I wasn't asked. We had 31 people rescued in Los Angeles. As everybody up, there was a tunnel, and it collapsed. Fortunately, 31 walked away. When things like that happen, it always rings in the back of my mind. Y'all remember the song, Big Bad John? He saved a bunch of people, didn't he? What else do we have this morning? I agree with this closing. The Roosevelt Hotel in New York City is permanently closed. Let's tell you why. It had become a migrant shelter to over 155,000 illegal aliens. It roughly cost the taxpayer $840 million. It was about, what is it, $200 a night. They had 1,250 rooms, and they were housing this, and the federal government was paying for it. $850 million of your tax money. My, oh my. Here is the tweet of the day. I thought I would share this one. It caught my attention this morning about 3:15. I was trying to find the coffee and stir it. I stared at it, and I thought, that's pretty good there. Her name was Emerald Robinson, and she posted this morning. It says, we just passed the 5-year anniversary of the COVID pandemic. Never forget the neighbors who shunned you, the employers who fired you, the doctors who refused to treat you, and the people who masked your kids at school. Don't you dare let these people forget what they did. Kind of interesting, isn't it? The tweet of the day, and we'll call it that. As we move to more stories that affect you as we're watching all of this morning. Previously reported illegal alien. He's going to serve, again, remember he was deported. He came back. He's going to serve 90 days in prison for chasing a U.S. attorney with a knife who was trying to represent him. There was a day and time I don't think that would have happened in the U.S. of A. It wouldn't have been allowed. Judges wouldn't have, well, y'all fill in the blanks. You know where I'm going. A Utah judge is scheduling a execution, I got tongue twisted, didn't I, by a firing squad for a man with dementia. It's coming up. He's been on death row in Utah for 37 years. Now, when he was sentenced and all this happened, he didn't have that. He's just been in prison so long that, well, he's gotten sick. This is only the 6th person since 1977 in the U.S. of A. that will be executed by gun. He asked for it. In the beginning, when all of this began some 37 years ago on death row. It will happen September the 5th. Now, there's attorneys trying to stop it because he has dementia. But he knew what he was doing when it all started, what he did. He killed his girlfriend. 1986 is when that happened. He abducted her, and she was a mother of 3. Sad it is. Kristen Wagner made a post about this. As we watch all of this of what used to be a man's sport or lady sport to where men decided they wanted to be women for some reason. And then they started playing women's sports, which I totally disagree with. Gives a few numbers there. 900 women medals have been taken away by men. Y'all think about that, 900. In West Virginia, a K-12 athlete has displaced 280 plus girls more than 700 times. I'm not going to harp on it. Y'all know my thoughts and where that belongs. A guy named Douglas Mackey has been cleared. He made a few memes about Hillary Clinton back in 2016. He was arrested for it. Seriously, memes. He got arrested for it. He has been cleared finally. All charges have been dropped against him, and you know what he said? Well, I'm going to sue him for all my attorney fees now. There is no telling what that cost him since 2016 to fight this. And what usually happens in a case like this, someone can't afford to fight this stuff. Bogus charges are often brought up on people like that, and well, he fought it. He wins. Congratulations to him. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, not locally, but in Pennsylvania, they finally reached it. This had to be smelly. It's the city of brotherly love, if I can get that out. That was a tough one there. We've seen the Rocky statue. The problem was it was starting to smell really bad because, well, they quit picking up local garbage. They went on strike. They finally got it worked out, and they'll go back to picking up garbage now. Oh, boy. That's one of those things that That's hard work, y'all. Respect that guy that picks up your garbage. He's having a tough day. He's out there in rain, sleet, or snow. You ever notice that? I got a friend down the road that always makes a packet, takes some cookies and sandwiches. Doesn't hurt to be kind. Remember that. I'm going to say the word allegedly on this because there's really no way to prove this in any shape, form, or way, but they're saying that he is saying it. Former President Joe Biden is saying that world leaders are still calling him for advice these days. Maybe it's about ice cream, and he's not lying about that. Maybe you can stretch the truth sometimes, and that still be the truth that someone called and said, what's better, vanilla or Butterfinger? I'm trying to get the benefit of the doubt on that. The UK, postal workers in the UK, they had a scandal there. There was at least several that were wrongly convicted in this case. It's going to be going to court. Of that, 13 took their own lives with that looming over them. They couldn't handle it, the pressure, the anxiety. Is headed to court. There will be lawsuits on that. What a shame. Southern California wildfire. If it's dry, always remember to be careful with this. They're saying that a firecracker set it off. Could have been purposely. They're investigating it. We'll find out. I don't know that this is... We go back to 2016 as we start looking at what's going on in Washington. As we all know, if you pay attention even locally, everything is politically. And the higher up the food chain you get, the more political it gets. So you do this, you do that. As you get to Jackson, it's pretty high. And then from there, you go to Washington. They're calling it targeting. I'm not so sure that it is targeting. As we start, New York Times is calling it that, targeting. As James Comey and others are being investigated now, they've opened up a full-fledged investigation to that dossier. As we all found out, it was fake. I don't think that's targeting. It's getting to the bottom of it, of who let that happen in our government. We mentioned, I think it was Monday this was brought up, a man was arrested for beheading his father. He is telling them under oath that, well, he was just trying to make a citizen's arrest of his father. Not quite sure how you can put those two together. They have arrested and charged 10 people with an ambush on Texas, the ICE detention center. 10 of them have been arrested. Now, early this morning, and this goes back to what I said a moment ago, as you watch things and you scratch your head and you go, this is the U.S. of A. I watched, I believe it was New York, as ICE agents attempted to arrest, I think it was about 4 people. They were surrounded by about 40 people. They began to push the ICE agents as they tried to make the arrest on the others. There was a day and time when regular citizens would have stepped in and stopped that. They did not. Now, what the illegal aliens did, I'm not sure. But it's almost as if the American citizen has turned their back against law enforcement from time to time. I watched it. It was shocking as to the way the agents were being treated. It's not right. Let's see what else we have this morning here. They're saying there's horrible, horrible conditions at Alligator Alcatraz. Imagine that. Huh. This doesn't have carpet and air conditioning. Well, it'll be okay. Let's see here. I never tried this, and I'm probably going to pronounce this name correctly, but it was a lemonade. Panera brand is what they called it. Panera. Did I get close on that? Panera? They didn't offer that in the 5th grade when I was in there, when I was passing that through. But they've settled a lawsuit. They had 3 remaining there. They say it was too highly caffeinated and is blamed for 2 deaths. It made the heart rate go up. And if you drink any of those energy drinks, you've heard tell of this. I've heard of people having serious heart attacks from too much caffeine for those. I don't know the brands, but y'all be careful as you drink them. Don't overdo it. I even heard of someone that got a DUI for drinking 8 of those. Seriously. They were high as a Georgia pine. It happened. Drink one, see what happens. I can't do it. It tastes. I took a sip and it was like cough syrup. And many of you may love it, but it's just not my thing there. Let's see what else is happening this morning. Russia launched another record drone attack on Ukraine. Hope they can work this stuff out there. And then it seems like there was one more story here. She's not it. Secret Service, here we go. This is the one that I wanted to bring up. Do y'all remember that day that we were watching in Pennsylvania and the president had a shot fired? It was several shots fired. He was nipped in the ear. It was an attempted assassination. Secret Service has finally dove into this. 6 agents have been placed on leave as the investigation unfolds. Weren't doing their jobs correctly. That took long enough, didn't it? Took a whole new administration to get into this. We'll be right back with the weather forecast. That's next at the Scotty Ray Report.
Hi, this is Nick at Doc's Toyota, and we are excited to put you in a new Toyota today. We have no dealer markup, no hidden fees, no hassle, and our inventory is always priced to move. Our top-notch sales department and first-class service after the sale guarantees you a fast and comfortable buying experience like you've never had. So come see why month after month, more and more customers have chose to buy from Doc's Toyota. So come see us here at Doc's Toyota in Philadelphia at docstoyota.com or on Facebook. And remember, there's no deal like a Doc's deal.
For over 40 years, you've been able to count on Watt Equipment in DeKalb, Mississippi. They've got your Massey Ferguson's brand new 23 up to 135 horse cab and air tractors. They've got all your hay equipment needs, all your bush hogs. If your tractor needs it, they got it. Also remember, they service all makes and models, whether it's green, orange, blue, red, or yellow. They can get your parts in, they can do your service on your equipment. Don't forget Watt Equipment, DeKalb, Mississippi.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA.
As we get into our forecast today, we go back to our record highs and lows. 1930, 101 today. We'll be a few degrees off of that with a high of 91. 1947, the low was 57 today. As we see no forecast yet from Jackson. They're working on it, though. As we go to Bama, they're all over it. 89 in Demopolis. We'll go up to 88 there in Birmingham. Over in Auburn, a steady 89 through most of the areas there. And as you'll see, it's forecasting possibility of rain across Bama today. We'll see that we've got a heat stress. The later the week gets toward Friday, the hotter it is. As we see here, look at that across Mississippi and Alabama. Now, it's warmer up that eastern coastline. Well, for them anyway. They're not used to what we get. As we look at our forecast, 91 today and tomorrow, depending upon where you're standing today, it's a 70 to 80% chance of showers. Low tonight around 71. We do expect the showers today to come sometime after 2. Is what we're expecting. Now, don't get me wrong if there's a sprinkle before that, but we're expecting it this afternoon. By Friday, an 80%. Over the weekend, we'll see 50% on Saturday, 40% on Sunday as you head off to church, and warm, 95 as we get into Monday and Tuesday, 96. Now, we hadn't got into 3 digits yet, but rain each day with upper mid-90s there. It'll cool down just a tad as we get to the 19th, down to 90. That's cool, isn't it? Yeah, we might even see 89 on the 21st, but steady chances of rain all the way through the 24th of July is what we're looking at. What's happening when we go out fishing today? Clarkdale Superette brings it to us. At high noon, you can fish until about 2 o'clock, and it'll be pretty good. That'll be the best times today. Now, the wind's going to be 5 to 10 this morning is what we're expecting. Better time also this afternoon, about an hour right there at dark. Fish good. It'll be great for you. Sunrise happened at 5:56 this morning. Sunset at 8:04. The good news we can tell you as we look at this, nothing happening in the Gulf of America or the Atlantic. That's good. Let's quickly go over and take a look at what live radar offers for us this morning before we get into the morning show. As I'll have to pull it up. I was running late, wasn't I? Here we go. We got a lot of fog to the north of here, northeast Mississippi, north of Tupelo. As you get into Corinth and these areas there, we've got a lot of fog there. Showers, look at this, up around Holly Springs, Olive Branch over by Tunica, showers, and a lot of fog over near Russellville, Decatur, Alabama. Be careful in those areas as we come down. Fayette, Alabama, a few showers. Now to the south, we're not showing anything. You got to go out into the Gulf of America to pick up a few of these off the coast of Houma and Biloxi and out near Pensacola. Nothing major, and a small shower popping up there around Lafayette, Louisiana. We're looking good at this point, but expect showers later this afternoon. A big thank you to WMOX Radio for joining us again this morning. We appreciate that. Already 6:55. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back in a moment after we get caffeinated again, and we'll kick off the morning show. Some entertainment coming up. I see a guitar. Is that what you call that, Odie? A guitar?
A guitar.
Yeah. It's coming up. We'll tell you all about it in a few moments here at the Scotty Ray Report.